at the top of the hour here on ESPN. We're with you commercial-free until then. Meanwhile, let's talk about this man, D-Hop. To no one's surprise, he's just been spectacular this season, leading the league in receiving yards and second most receptions on the year. If his output continues, he can become the first non-rookie since the merger to lead the NFL in receiving in his first season with a new team. And of course, he had maybe the most iconic moment of the year on what is known as the Hail Murray. But yesterday, he was defending himself against criticism that he hasn't practiced enough this year. Here's what he said.
Yeah, man, I heard a lot of negativity about me not practicing when I first came to Arizona. For those people who don't understand football and who just watch, there's a reason that I play football and they watch. Please tell your friends and all you guys on the local station. You know, if you got anything negative to say about DeAndre Hopkins, I charge to come on shows, but I give a discount to come on the show for those people.
Okay. So, I mean, sort of hearkening back to Allen Iverson with practice. Dominique Foxworth, what do you think?
Man, I love DeAndre's attitude in this moment, and he's right. Anyone who's been around football knows that vets, they don't have to practice all the time. And to be honest, I think we make a lot of practice. It's not completely irrelevant, but at the beginning of this season, we were talking about how little practice, how little pregame we all were going to see this year and how it's going to affect the play. And I told everybody, it won't really make a big difference. It'll seem the same, and that's what happened. These guys have been playing football their entire lives. A week or a day of missing practice is not going to suddenly turn them into bad football players. So I respect DeAndre Hopkins, and I hope that he continues to not practice if the results on the field are anything like what they've been for much of this season.
Lewis, what do you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, you're just fishing for stories and controversy when you bring stuff up like this for guys of his caliber, especially guys who who produce week after week after week. I mean, the best thing you have to do with your time is to pick on the fact and try and pick at the fact that he didn't practice as much as you think he should practice. You think somehow he's missing some kind of critical, situational reps. Is he causing some kind of rift within the organization? I mean, people respect performance. People respect guys who can go out and make unique plays in the NFL, and that's what he can do. And in talking to him before we did their game against the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football, this is the kind of guy who, I want him on my football team now. Practice or no practice. And by the way, I don't really care about him practicing. End of story.
Yeah, not a game. We're talking about not the game I died for. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. I'll never forget. I was hosting SportsCenter the day he did that, Allen Iverson. I threw to that. I had to come back and apologize for the language. Okay, next up here, it is time for the Chronicles of Riddick, our favorite feature, if only because it demonstrates him in this spectacular picture. This spectacular picture of Louis Riddick and the Chronicles of Riddick. Oh, we have an open now.
Why can't we change the name?
Okay, the Chronicles of Riddick.
I like that right there. I got to get that picture.
And that spectacular picture.
I like that.
Okay, so for the Chronicles of Riddick, we go through a couple of different items here. And Louis, let us begin as we look into Week 16 with some things you have some concerns about. And one of them I know, or maybe more than one of them, have to do with the LA Rams.
Yeah, it concerns me a little bit how they're playing right now. And they have two tough division games down the stretch here against Seattle and Arizona. And it's situational football that worries you because I know how much Sean puts an emphasis on that like every coach. And it's third down efficiency on offense and then third down efficiency on defense where they had played lights out all year long. You don't want to start having problems crop up now, especially when you're in the thick of it here and you have to go against two division opponents that you know are going to be gunning for you in their very important games. So just watch those two areas moving down the stretch here. The second one here is the Packers and their ability to slow down Derrick Henry. We talked about it earlier in this show. And this is really what their Achilles heel has been all year long. Or let's just say it's been a question of theirs. Are they tough enough up front on defense that when a team decides to just kind of bloody their nose and say, look, we're going to take the air out of the football and keep Aaron off the football field, can you deal with that? Do you have enough firepower up front and enough bulk up front to deal with that? And then lastly, we've been talking about it all show. We've been talking about it all year. Or rather, I should say over the past couple of weeks, the Steelers and their offense and their ability to be physical up front. I know we talk a lot about whether or not they can run the football, and they can run the football for 4+. That's what keeps offensive coordinators calling running plays. I'm more concerned about the fact of this. if they have to throw the football, because that's really what they do anyway, that's just who they are, and they're not going to get away from it. Can they protect against this Colts defensive line that I've seen them all year long? They have just terrorized quarterbacks, and the Bengals terrorized Ben on Monday night. So this game scares me for him this week. They better find some answers if they can't run the football as far as protecting Big Ben.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. Again, a 3-game losing streak. The one thing we know they will not have this weekend is Juju Smith-Schuster dancing. That seems to be coming to an end. There'll be no more dancing in midfield for the Steelers star wideout, who has received some criticism for dancing at midfield of opposing team stadiums. And the player who's known for his dance moves yesterday talked about his decision to now knock it off.
I was dancing, when we were undefeated, I was dancing. When we lost our 3 games, I'm not going to change the person who I am. I think, it's getting to the point where, my teammates are being asked this question. My coach is being asked this question. I saw it more as, no intention of disrespect. It's just more intentions of, my fans. So for the betterment of, myself and my teammates, I'm going to stop, dancing on the logos.
All right, there are going to be a lot of disappointed people about this, I can tell you. My 18-year-old son loves Juju Smith-Schuster exclusively because, in his words, he's the most lit player in the NFL because of his presence on TikTok. And Shefty, I know you were making that point. I saw it in your notes today, that this is something that yesterday, when he announced he wasn't going to do it anymore, that blew up on social media yesterday.
It touched a real nerve with a lot of different people. And obviously the younger generation, like your son, Greeny, they love watching Juju do what he does. And again, I think he had done it throughout the better part of the season. And nobody seemed to notice him dancing on logos when the Steelers were 11-0. But now that they've lost to Washington and Buffalo and Cincinnati on Monday night, now that it's a 3-game losing streak, and now that the dancing has attracted all this attention that it's gotten on TikTok, now, Juju's putting a stop to it, disappointing many people. And again, to me, the Steelers' problems run deeper than Juju dancing on the logo, but I understand all the traditionalists who say he shouldn't be doing this and he shouldn't be inciting the opposition before the game. Otherwise, he pays for it during the game, as he did on Monday night.
So we had a good discussion about this earlier. Dominique basically said he should dance. Louis Riddick basically said other players are going to get chippy with him as a result, and he shouldn't dance. Damien Woody, we haven't gotten your take on it yet, so you can break the tie. Should Juju dance or not?
Greeny, I came in thinking with one response, but he should keep dancing, man. He should keep dancing. Listen, I got daughters that's on TikTok, and that's where they live at. Like, they love that. They love that type of stuff, man. And I think for me, be who you are. Be who you are, because that's when you're at your best as a player. None of this fake stuff. Well, since everybody's talking about it, I'm not going to do it. No,
team.
Be who you are.
I'll tell you what.
Listen, you don't play in it. Listen, bulletin board stuff is one that. Listen, bulletin board stuff. I never bought into the whole bulletin board makes me play harder. You're gonna play hard regardless. I don't care what it is. And Juju dancing on the Bengal symbol, whatever, in midfield. So what? So what? Go ahead and dance, Juju. Go ahead and do it. Hell, I might even dance.
Okay, now, Louis, I know you are frustrated by this. You are the man on the other side of this. So, as a result of that, I'm going to allow you to be the judge of who is actually the most suited on this program to be the one doing the TikTok dancing before the games. All right, Louis, let's all take a look at these. And then, Louis, you tell me what you think. Let's start with D-Wood. Right. D-Wood's presence on TikTok is legendary. It is epic. Louis, your thoughts?
Woody! Yeah, you got rhythm. You're coordinated.
Don't knock me, baby.
I like that.
Don't knock me, baby. You see
I like it. I like it. I like it, though. I like it. It's natural. It's smooth. It's easy. I like that.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, my net return is.
Dominique,
I like that one. I give you a 10, Woody. A 10.
Okay, he's got a 10. Let's see what grade Ed gets. And Louis, what do you think? Let's show our next contestant. This one is legendary. Come on. That is Greeny, Dancing with Anna Trebunskaya, Dancing with the Stars.
Wow.
Why are you laughing like that? I don't understand.
Impressive.
It's not as funny. not as funny as you think it is.
Shimmy